All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel. If you're listening to this after the Strickland Podcast Network, I am Sam. I'm joined by Schwinn. Knicks lose 117-100, close out this road trip. Before we get into all that, though, the holiday season is off and rolling with NFL in full stride and the NBA and NHL hitting mid-season form. BetOnline is your number one destination for all your sports wagering info. With up-to-the-minute sports wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions, BetOnline is the top spot for everything pro and amateur sports. And not just the big four, BetOnline has info available at your fingertips with both desktop and mobile access at any time for almost any sport that's being played, from MMA to international soccer. Head to the BetOnline app today and remember to use our promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, now to talk about this basketball game that occurred. Pretty rough game for the Knicks, and that's probably speaking lightly. Ran into a really good Timberwolves team that's been rolling lately. Best team in the West, best defense in the league. They definitely showcased that tonight, making the Knicks work for a lot of stuff. But yeah, it was just not a really good game from anybody tonight. I mean, some guys look like they had good numbers, like Brunson had 25, 4 and 6, 7 for 15, but like it's whatever at that point. But yeah, I mean, really bad game from majority of our guys, I would say. Yeah, Quentin Grimes, he came back tonight, put up a donut. Still looking hesitant, even though he took 6 shots. And yeah, you had Randall, who started off the game rough with a lot of over dribbling. Start to pick things up in the second half, and then, the second quarter, and then from there, the rest of the team kind of really went non-existent, especially that third quarter. That third quarter was really, really bad, and I think that's where the game really got away from us.
I actually had pretty much no problem with how anybody played aside from Grimes and whatever the fuck Hartenstein was doing in the first half. Yeah, guys missed shots. RJ didn't have a good game inside the arc. Brunson kind of went quiet after the first quarter.
That's what a good defense will do to you.
Yeah, they played good defense. Fine. Quick missed shots. Quick had like 4 or 5 shots rim in and out, which was nuts. Randall, I thought, yeah, was it beautiful, flowing basketball, great decision making? No, but I think he got shit going when we needed to get some shit going. I didn't really have a problem with it. Do I think his defense was great? Do I think everybody's defense was perfect or locked in or whatever? No. But I thought everybody else played with a pretty solid amount of effort, fire, competitiveness, whatever you want to call it. I thought Grimes was pretty much embarrassing tonight. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was terrible. And as bad as they were to start that first half, I actually think, the second half, I think a ton of that goes back to Grimes. I thought he was fucking garbage. Like, I can't put it any other way. I thought he was terrible tonight. That second half, to start it, he just let Anthony Edwards go wherever the fuck he wanted, prance around the floor, run around screens, and did nothing. He provided zero resistance. He didn't make him feel him at all. He provided zero threat offensively on top of that. I mean, this guy acts like Mike Conley is fucking Scottie Pippen or something. He would not put the ball on the floor. He didn't even try. Every time he runs that fucking dribble handoff with Randall, he takes one dribble back out to the top of the key, picks up his dribble, and then has to wait for Brunson to come and gather the ball from him, and that's it. That was pathetic. That's how I felt about his performance tonight. I thought that was an atrocious performance from him. And I don't know how, if you can actually put, it wasn't all on Grimes, but he gave you nothing. He didn't even try to give you something, is the thing. Like, did RJ have a great game? No, but he was trying. I felt like I was visibly seeing him give good effort. Was it perfect effort? No. I mean, he had some bad defensive possessions, just like Randall had some bad defensive possessions, just like Brunson did. Just like everybody probably fucked up a few defensive possessions. Nobody played with as little fucking force as Grimes. It was probably the best example I can give of this. Just to give an example of like how, I don't know where his head was at tonight. It just felt like he was not in the game at all. There was a play early in the first quarter. I want to say, I don't know, it was like 15-13, something like that. We got to stop. They made a shot, or they took a shot. Grimes is basically 15 feet away in the corner. Anthony Edwards is all the way in the corner, spotted up. The ball bounces off the side of the rim. Grimes just standing there. Just stands there flat-footed, no reaction. Ball goes over his head. Anthony gets the ball, and then they end up scoring 2 on that possession. But like, there's no excuse for that. Like, and like, look, yeah, it was their 5th game in 7 days, right? For the Knicks, 5th game in 7 days, end of a really long road trip. If you told me before the start of the road trip they'd go 3-2, I'd have been like, great, let's do it and let's move on. I have no problem with that. But Quentin Grimes didn't play 3 of these fucking games, basically, or 2.5 of these games, whatever you want to call it. For him to come out with that lack of energy, and his injury was a hand, okay? So the only thing this fucking guy couldn't do was jerk off. Aside from that, he was good to go. All right. He was fucking terrible. And his lack of energy tonight was honestly pretty glaring to me. And I just think, like, he keeps playing like this. He keeps fucking around. DiVincenzo's going to take that spot from him. That's what's going to happen. Because I'll tell you what, DiVincenzo, he did not shoot well tonight. I wouldn't say he had a particularly amazing defensive game. But in a game the Knicks lost by 17, the man was a +3. In a game that he went 2 of 8 for 7 points, still got you 5 assists, played with force, he was a +3. Like, Grimes
drove to the rim, even though I'm not the biggest fan of that. But
this is Grimes. This is what Grimes did tonight in 25 minutes tonight. All right, gonna read this out. 0 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals, which I don't even remember those. I feel like one of them was Mitch deflecting it into his hands or something. 0 for 6 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. So this fucking guy didn't even put the ball on the deck once to attack.
Well, he's scared.
And I don't know. See, I think that's the thing. People are like, he's scared. Yeah, maybe so. That's part of it. And I'm sure that's part of it. He lacks confidence in his handle. And now, on top of that, teams know the scouting report on him. So he's on the scouting report. So it's, hey, if you close out to this guy, he's either going to shoot the ball or he's going to record scratch the play and you're going to start the play over. If you don't jump, you just close out to him, he is not going anywhere. He's not going to do anything to you off the bounce. When is the last time you saw him attack a closeout this year? I feel like I don't remember one. I haven't seen one in a while. I bet you he's probably taken. So tonight we know he didn't take a 2, right? So let's do this. How many 2-point attempts do you think Quentin Grimes has this season?
I want to say 7, 8.
All right. Quentin Grimes, for this season, okay, just this season, obviously, he has taken 12 2-point attempts out of 75 field goal attempts. So that means he is taking right now, so coming into tonight's game, 84% of his shots were threes. That's your starting 2 guard. That won't put the ball on the deck and will let guys like Mike fucking Conley lock him up. I'm sorry. That was, I can't, I can sit here and talk about
36-year-old Mike Conley.
I think Mike Conley's done a really good job for them. He's playing really, really well, even on defense. But like, come the fuck on, that was garbage. Like, it's fun to like make fun of Jaylen Brown. At least Jaylen Brown would try to dribble, man. Like, this guy wasn't even. He gave you nothing. The last time we saw this fucking guy dribble, he dribbled behind his back straight into Trae Young in transition and turned the ball over. Like,
well, that's he's scared.
I don't think he's scared. I think he just knows.
I think it's
handle sucks.
Yeah, it's scared and the lack of confidence.
He's got to figure this out, because right now he said he worked all summer with fucking JJ Redick on a bunch of shit
and with Penny too.
And I don't know what the shit he worked on is. And
well, JJ's not the best guy to go to for handles.
Yeah, well, and if he's gonna get 25 minutes a night to do this, like, I'm sorry, I'm ready to like look. You give this like 20, 25 games max. If nothing is happening in these next 5-6 games with him, like if he just still and the other part, I got to mention this too, because this drove me absolutely fucking nuts. He was like, you want to know the difference between him and DiVincenzo right now? DiVincenzo will, they're both playing spot up shooting roles off the ball in that lineup, right? Watch DiVincenzo off the ball, watch Grimes off the ball. Grimes, like, yeah, on a certain play, you're supposed to be in the corner, right? I get that.
But he doesn't cut or do anything else.
When Julius is driving, let's say it's Julius. Julius is driving, and your man is standing in the corner with his back to you, but he's watching Julius. You've got to move, man. You've got to move. You've got to drag yourself up, further up towards the wing, and make yourself available for kickout. He just wants to stand there. He's not moving. He does not do anything right now. And it's honestly just ridiculous to watch, right? Like, it's
I
not.
feel like he used to cut more last year too. Like he used to at least move a lot more last year.
No, he absolutely cut more last year, and I'm not sure why he's not cutting at all now. But it's very, very palpable the difference between him and DiVincenzo, and it feels like he is really, really far into his own head here. Like I'm not sure what is going on with him that's just taking so much out of him, where it's just like he's not playing well at all. But DiVincenzo is just moving so much more better off the ball, just to create little openings and make passes slightly easier. Grimes isn't doing that. I don't know what is going on with him. But that performance today from him, I mean, that is as bad of a performance as you could have. And while I don't want to say we lost, we can't. It's hard to say you lost a 17-point game because of one guy. I mean, that's as close as it gets. Yeah, I thought he was that fucking awful today. It was a disgrace, his performance.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, his performance was pretty bad for me. He was pretty much invisible for this game. I also think just like a lot of the turnovers and missed free throws definitely didn't help us out a ton too. That seems to be our bane, especially free throws. Man, it was so annoying to see. Like we're making this run. I think in like the fourth, the game is like I want to say a 14-point game.
Yeah.
And we just can't hit we can't consistently hit free throws, and like it's very annoying. And the fact that we were able to hold Anthony Edwards to 23 points on 21 shots and still lose this game the way that we did, it's very, very annoying. I feel like there was an avenue to win. You know, hopefully RJ gets his footing. It seems like he's taken a little bit. These last couple games haven't been the best for him getting back into the lineup, but of course, he was dealing with the migraines. But I do think that a starting lineup change will definitely help. I know a lot of people are like, "Hey, you can't really judge too much off, these last two games, versus Washington and the Hornets. Those are the last two games that DiVincenzo started, right?"
Yes. Yeah, and I don't think you can take too much from them. And I did think Grimes was playing better in
the games prior.
Yeah, I thought he was playing better against Boston, and I thought he played definitely way better against the Hawks, where he had like 3 threes in the third quarter before he got hurt and went out in the fourth. I thought he was playing better, but like it still wasn't. I don't think anybody would have watched those games and been like, "Oh, he's playing really well." I just think he's
stride.
What I would say is this: before tonight's game, I believe I'm just gonna pull it up here again real quick. But I want to say Grimes was actually averaging something like I got it right here. So he was actually taking 11.6 threes per 100 possessions, which is like a good fine number for spot up guys and whatever. The problem is it feels like I don't know, man. Maybe this is something the coaching staff talking about. Maybe this was something that has gotten into his head because he's worked with JJ Redick this offseason. But like, it feels like all he wants to do now is take threes. Like he doesn't want to do anything else unless it's in transition. And I just don't. I don't know. He looks like a worse player right now than he did at the end of last season. And I know he obviously did not shoot well in the playoffs, but like he was.
Did.
Yeah, and he was just good last year, and now he's just like
there was like a baseline of what you were gonna get with Grimes. It was like you were gonna get at least like 3 threes a night, especially towards that latter half of the season, and you were gonna get consistent defense. You're still getting the consistent defense, but the threes are not dropping. which it hurts now because that's less scoring coming from him. And last year he used to do more off of the closeouts. Like he used to attack closeouts more. We used to joke last year about like how predictable his attacking the closeouts were because teams started scouting it because they knew that he was driving for the pass. But at least that was something that at least that was a counter to at least when they would close out hard on him. Now he's just like you said, record scratching the play. They're resetting the play. Nothing's really happening out of that. At least last year when he was driving, there was at least another avenue of creation, and there's not that this year, which definitely you're seeing it because it's way more obvious.
Yeah, and just I don't want to just like make this the shit on
Quentin
Grimes
Grimes.
life pod, but like just to kind of drive home the point, right? Okay, RJ Barrett, not a great game tonight. 4 of 13 from the field, still has 14 points, right? So one more point than a shot. Emmanuel Quickly, not a great game today. 4 of 14 from the field, 15 points. Okay. RJ was 3 of 4 from 3. So he was 1 of 9 from inside the arc. Quickly was 1 of 7 from 3. So he was 3 of 7 inside the arc. And yet these guys manage, to score one more point than shots they took because they have an ability to find ways to manufacture points for you. Okay. Josh Hart, 2-6-4 points. Not a particularly great game from him. I feel like, I don't know. I know that I feel like whenever he misses threes, people really get on him. I actually didn't think he played atrociously. I just think he did not have a good game. And I also don't know why he needed 24 minutes tonight and quickly got 17, but whatever. DiVincenzo, 2 of 8, 7 points, again, 5 assists. Like Grimes just did nothing today. And he took 6 shots, and then because his 3 did not go in at all, he gave you no points. And like, look, none of these guys shot well, right? Julius Randle, 6 of 16, 21 points. But the point is, like, only one guy here actually gave you nothing. Even if he gives you 3 threes, if he makes half of those, he makes 2 of them, it's a different game. Like, he gave you nothing. And it's not just, this isn't just like, oh, well, sometimes guys make threes and sometimes you got to live with that. Like, I get that. You got to live with that.
Make or miss.
But when you literally cannot or will not do anything else, then your production is entirely tied to that. And his defense was not good tonight. Like, again, that third quarter, the start of that third quarter, I know Anthony Edwards is a phenomenal player. I think he's a guy who's probably going to win scoring titles. Like, he's an amazing offensive talent. It's very hard to lock that guy up it's impossible to lock that guy up for 40 minutes. But what he was doing at the start of the third quarter was just like, he did not even challenge him in any way. He did not get into him. He didn't deny him screens. He didn't try to stop him from going where he wanted to go. He just kind of let him. And I don't know. I can't say enough with how disappointing Quentin Grimes was today. And just to bring it back a little bit to Josh Hart, since this much of Hart refusing to shoot that 1 3 in the second half was ridiculous. I agree. I mean, look, that's the one thing with Hart where it's like, look, forget the percentages. It's just like, look, man, there's just times you got to take a 3. He had one in the first half too. Quickly swung it to him at the top of the key, and then instead of shooting it, he pump faked and then drove in and tried this weird ass like floater thing that did not work. And it's
weird because the prior games I feel like he's been pretty automatic on the catch, just letting it go.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, the other problem with that too. So when he did that, he drives in, he misses the floater. Your floor bounce is completely off, and they ended up getting an easy 2 in transition the other way. And it's like, or it might have been the one where Quickly committed an off defensive foul by having his face in the way of an elbow. But like, it was just, he's the problem with those plays is very, very specifically that you're not taking a good shot and then you're fucking up your floor bounce. So, I mean, honestly, even if he makes the shot, you have a chance of giving up a transition bucket because there's only one guy back there. And he probably like fucking fell because Hart falls all the time, which creates a problem too. So it just, look, I don't know. The Josh Hart thing is weird, but I have a much, much bigger problem with just everything about Quentin Grimes tonight. And honestly, like, I kind of have like sympathy for some of these guys like Grimes. I mean, especially like Brunson, Randall, IQ, Hart, Mitch, Hartenstein. Those guys played the entire trip. They didn't get a game off. They weren't, they didn't miss any time with injury. They played every game. So to me, like the Grimes piece of it, I just can't. I don't know, man. I just was really, really disappointed with that performance. You would like it felt like, I'm not saying you got to win your job all the time, but like, you would think you see how DiVincenzo played the last couple of games, you might come out with a little bit more. Might come out like your hair's on fire, and that was the exact opposite of whatever the fuck Grimes was doing.
Yeah. It's so weird. Every year we have to change our two guard in the middle of the year. It seems like it's going to be the case once again. But yeah, let me get through some of these comments. Shout out to y'all for leaving some comments. Walcott Fraser, he asks, "Am I insane to think McBride should have gotten a crack at guarding Ant?" See, the thing is, I don't think Ant was our problem tonight. Like, we couldn't hit anything. Like, we couldn't hit threes. We couldn't hit free throws. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the biggest issue I had was, Ant tonight. By the way, I mean, look, his second half was very loud. Ultimately, if you told me before the game he would have 23 points on 21 shots,
I take
one
that
of
any day.
10 rebounds, 5 assists, sure, but like I didn't really feel like, oh my god, Anthony Edwards is fucking out here. But like I would say Anthony Edwards played fair tonight. But like I don't know what McBride would have done. Maybe he would have helped. Maybe he would have done something. I don't know. I struggle with this. I didn't even feel like our defense was really that bad, man. Like aside from the Grimes thing,
No one really killed us this game. That's
well,
the thing.
I think they made some shots that you're just like, you're gonna have to live with
And
that.
they
Like
got like some extra possessions off some offensive boards, like,
and sure, like, could we have done a better job on the closeouts? And all that, and like, could our rotations have been tighter? And sure, like I won't deny any of that. That's all 100% fair. But like I really felt, honestly, I thought it was just. I'll say this: I thought Quickly actually did a good job on Ant in the second half, and it was really, really weird to me to take him out when they did. Also, because of the Timberwolves size, uh, like this was the weird, like, so Quickly starts the fourth quarter. He takes that deep ass three, but they set the pick higher, so he had all this space, and it was a pretty clean look for him. He drains that. They didn't do that again for him or anybody. They never did it for Brunson the entire game. I just don't understand that. Like, to me, that's exactly the position you want to put a drop big like Gobert in, or Reed or whoever the fuck. If it's Cat, even better. Cat's out in space? Wonderful. He's probably gonna like have a conniption, like he did the entire game, like a fucking loser. But
dog, he just kept whining and crying and
that
whining
guy
and
is
crying.
such a fucking tool, man. I cannot stand him at all. But like, I thought that was weird. But so like, that's one thing, and the other thing is, it was just odd to me because like I thought Quickly was. I thought he was pretty close the entire night to getting it going, and like I thought he did have it going a little bit in that second half. He was getting to the line. I think he kind of figured out, like, all right, I need to get into this mid range, start taking, get into that floater range and start doing some damage. And I think Brunson did that pretty effectively in that game too. And honestly, I will say the one thing that I'm noticing with Brunson, and why I wonder if some of these his 2-point percentages have come down. It feels like every time he's inside the arc now, once he gets around 18 feet out to the elbow or something like that, if he can't get to the cup, it feels like he's very much conscious of that and seems to be like always trying to draw the foul from the guy behind him. And I'm like, can you just like,
don't be Trae Young?
Yeah, can you just try to make the shot though? Like, you're good at that, so just do that. I don't know. I would like him. Like, I thought he was starting to do that too much again tonight, but that's just like a small idiosyncrasy or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just think this was a weird game, and aside from Grimes, I'm not sure I particularly care about anything I saw from anybody, because it's the 5th game in 7 nights, and it's the end of a long road trip. It's early in the season. If you told me before this road trip we'd be go 3-2, I'd say great. If you told me that we would be 8-6, 14 games in, I'd say great, fantastic, wonderful. I don't know. It was just a weird game. This is from Nafim Huda. What adjustment should have been made when Minnesota made that run at the start of the third quarter? I would have taken out Grimes so much sooner. He had nothing. He got roasted. What was the score by the time he got subbed out? I would say they were down. I want to say they were down probably 15 by that point. I can pull it up right now. And I think most of that was just off of his bullshit, or at least a large portion of it. So by the times Grimes went out, which was at the 5:10 mark, yeah, we were down 15. So it went from 2 to 15. And I don't know. I just think after that point, I struggled to say like we played great, but I also don't think Minnesota was letting up. I thought they were still giving their like a really good effort. They were very much into this game, and we more or less played them even after that point. Again, like I don't like to make it about one guy, but I really think how bad he was tonight cost the Knicks massively. Yeah, I also got to say Hartenstein. I would like if he just would do a little less. Feels like he's trying to do way too much right now, all the time. That fucking turnover he had in the second quarter was insane. Really dribbled the ball off his foot. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Like he's got to chill with some of the Jokic of the East stuff that he's trying to pull off here.
He's not Jokic of the East. Surprise, surprise.
He's like Jokic light of the East, maybe sometimes.
All right, yeah. Next tape he says officiating felt weird. We couldn't hit shots regardless. Yeah, I mean, I thought some fouls were weird, but I thought we were also getting a lot of fouls. Like, thankfully, we were able to draw some fouls on Cat, and get him out of the game. But I do like that we attacked a weak point in their defense, because although they do have a top defense, there's still that one weak point. Neo Schmidt, he says Grimes should watch tape of Fournier, Bullock, and Dante DiVincenzo and how they got their threes in our offense. Or he should watch his tape.
Yeah.
Or he could watch his tape from last year.
Well, he's got to come off these screens actually looking to like try to make a play. He's coming out like every time he runs. And look, I'm not going to sit here and act like Randall is, Sabonis on dribble handoffs, but like, come on, man. Like we saw Bullock pull off a good 2-man game with him. Like he's coming off these screens and he's not even looking at the hoop. He literally catches the screen and like he's facing the opposite way. He does not ever look to see, well, is my guy trailing me? Can I get around the corner? And actually, if you watch DiVincenzo, to the point that Neo Schmidt's making here, if you watch DiVincenzo run the same actions, he actually runs it in a way where he creates, at times, pocket passes to Randall. And, like, he's actually probing, or he uses it to get in the paint. Like, he's not just running it to run it. He's actually running it with purpose. Whereas Grimes right now is just running it because it's like, well, that's what I'm supposed to do. And then I just have to do this next thing where I throw it back to Jalen Brunson, and now 8 seconds have been wasted off the shot clock with nothing created, no advantage happening. Yeah, look, he's just not been good. And, I don't know. As far as the officiating is concerned, I cannot believe Tibbs. Like, he challenged the Randall one, which cost us 0 points, and he didn't challenge the Brunson one in the first quarter, which was an obvious fucking charge. And that cost us 3 points. Like, and I mean, that was Cat too, right? So Cat theoretically might have been in foul trouble earlier in the game then. Yeah. Like it was just, I could not believe that. It's not so much that he didn't challenge the Brunson one, because I think as much as I hate it, I can understand the argument of like, refs are weird. We never know what they'll overturn. Don't want to risk losing this in the first quarter of the game. I can understand that. But like, dude, then you fucking use it on that garbage in the third quarter, which is just Randall. I mean, first of all, crazy that was whistled. But second, like, who cares what you challenge there? Like you challenge that. You don't challenge.
Yeah, you don't challenge something that doesn't give you at least possession of the ball.
Yeah, and he wouldn't quickly picked up 2 fouls in the first half that are shooting fouls, both in which he basically just got elbowed in the face. Like the first one, Shake Milton just launched his elbow into his face, and it was like, okay, like that's a foul because why? And the second one Was that Kyle Anderson? I don't remember who it was, but it was Nas
Maybe
Reed.
Cat. Oh,
No, it was
yeah.
Nas
Oh,
Reed.
yeah. It was Nas Reed.
And it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are we talking about? Either like you can also just not call a foul. I'm not saying it has to be an offensive foul, but you can just not call a
No
foul.
call. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could not believe that call. That was a fucking ridiculous call. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, he had 3 opportunities in the first half, as far as I'm concerned, to challenge plays that actually would have resulted in us getting points. And then there's that one. I mean, again, it's stupid to be like, well, this cost us the game, but that play. So it's like quickly into 3. The lead's 15 now to start at the start of the fourth. It was a Cat that went to the line. I think he splits 2. And then RJ comes down. He's like about to gather this pass and just slam on an uncontested bucket. But then, like, was it Gobert that grabbed his arm and like pulled him back? And it was like, I don't know how you missed that. It just felt like the calls we did not get, or the calls that went against us, always cost us points. And I don't know that was necessarily the case with holy fucking shit. Marquez Vanna's scouting is, whoo, man. That is why you may not be employed next year, buddy. All right. But yeah, I mean, it was just, that was crazy. I don't know. I just thought that the officiating was very bad.
Yeah.
But
But,
look,
like,
you lose the game. You lose the game by 17. I'm not going to sit here and like be like, oh.
and you lose a game by 17 in which you had free throws that you missed.
Right.
It's hard to really put it all on the officials.
I gotta say though, I gotta believe the Knicks shot. They shot 32 free throws. Let's not count the Daquan Jeffries one. Who cares about that, right? It's over 2. It's garbage time. So they went 22 of 30 in the players that matter free throws.
Players that matter.
Or sorry, they went. No, sorry, my bad. They went 25 of 31 in the players that matter free throws. RJ Barrett 3 of 4. He missed 1. Julius Randle 8 of 12 missed 4. The Randle thing is getting concerning now. With the free throws, he's under 60% now, or sorry, under 70% now for a pretty long portion of the season. It feels like every time he goes up there, it's miss one, make one. I don't know. Maybe it's still. I mean, it is still early in the season. Still got a long time out of us. Maybe it picks up, but like that's just something
doesn't look good right now.
Well, just costing us points. Just costing us points right now. And again, like, is this why? This is why? Like, I don't think we lost this game because of the officials. But man, sure does suck not to have that one. Sure does suck not to just like get some calls going in your favor. But yeah, look, you lose by 17 again. I'm not going to sit here and be like,
and who knows if we even get those calls? Do our guys even capitalize on them? Because we suck at free throws.
Yeah.
Walcott Frazier says Grimes was so bad it completely took his mind off of Randall's defense. Yeah. I mean, Randall's defense is what it is at this point. Like,
And I thought his start, like obviously the first half was just the first quarter, I should very specifically say, for him defensively is not great. I actually kind of thought he was okay in the second half. I don't know. I didn't really feel like he even like ran somebody off the line at one point. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Do that more often.
Yeah, I was like, that's really cool. You should do that more. Please.
Instead of letting guys just, get wide open corner threes off of cross switching.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, I think Cat hit a 3 on him in transition, but he actually got up to contest it. Like, it was not like a clean. It was a pretty insane shot, honestly, that Cat hit. But like, yeah, I gotta say, I mean, the Cat thing, that entire team, they're such fucking losers, man. Cat and fucking Gobert. Nas Reed can go fuck himself too. Remember that thing in preseason with him and RJ? That was so weird.
Oh yeah.
What are you mad about right now?
It's a preseason game. Relax, bro.
He also got mad that RJ like drove. Like, I don't know what he was mad about. I was like, what's happening here? You're mad about what right now? For what reason are you upset, sir?
Oh my god. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the fact that there's these. I don't like the fact that there's these like weird teams that are like the top teams in defense that you like don't really expect. Like you got the Magic, who are a top team defensively. I mean, they got the length and whatnot to be a good defensive team, and then you got Minnesota, who everyone expected to at least be good defensively last year, and I guess they weren't as good, and now they are. But yeah, it's just interesting to see teams like this, be good at basketball when you have teams like the Wizards who are not.
Yeah,
And Jordan Poole finally had his good game, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's the Wizards who allowed the Bucks to cover. Thank you to them. Also, shout out to the Pelicans and the Clippers. Good job tonight, guys.
I needed 8 rebounds from Zion Williams' fat ass.
What do you have, like 3 or something? He didn't get
Yes.
rebounds, right? Yeah.
So pathetic.
Yes. All right, here we go. This is a good one.
How did I know you were going to highlight that one?
I think I've seen EJ Warren here after
every game.
I feel like it's mostly after losses we see him. It's mostly after losses.
We got another one.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. It's time to pivot and look to trade off some pieces of the time. The flaws in the team can't be fixed. Yep. If at first you don't succeed, give up. That's what was great.
I would love to know what pieces we're trading off and what flaws of this team that can't be fixed.
Yeah, I don't know. I look, Minnesota's a really good defensive team. They're a really good team, and Knicks lost. And
this is what a good defensive team does to a team like the Knicks that have a very, I would say, simple offense. Right?
I would also just say the Knicks missed some threes that they could make another night, and all of a sudden we're talking about a different game. It didn't happen, and not just threes, right? RJ, I don't know what the hell that RJ missed like a few shots in the paint today. That was just like,
and he took some weird ones too. Like he was like trying to avoid Gobert.
Did he? Well, he had one where I think he thought Gobert was like there, and he tried
to hook it.
Yeah, he did that, and then he had one where like he had the putback, and I was like, he thought Gobert was there, so he tried to like rush it again, and I'm like, dude, relax, like you're good. He had a couple ones that were weird to miss, and I don't know. It was like, it was, I don't know. It was a weird game from him, but like again, I could deal. Like again, I just could deal with everybody else's shit tonight. I didn't really have a problem with anybody else's bullshit tonight. I was just like, oh yeah, okay, that happens. It was just the Grime stuff that was like really fucking pissed me off. Or I'm like, come on, dude, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, it's what it is. This is from Jordan Bub. Should we worry about Miami? I'm telling you one thing. If any of you guys spend the next 3 days worrying about a basketball game on Friday instead of like how much weight you're going to be putting on, more power to you.
Or Black Friday deals.
Yeah, Black Friday deals. What parlays you're going to have on the Thanksgiving football games?
If they're even going to be good.
Yeah. They're getting and also this is the, I mean, look, I'm so happy I'm not a Jets fan, by the way, because that Friday could really fucking suck for Jets fans. That could really suck. If you're a Jets and a Knicks fan, that could be a bad Friday. I'm just saying, like, I might skip out on the Knicks that night.
Darker than Black Friday.
I'm a little worried for them. I'm not sure the Tim Boyle era is gonna make it happen there for them. But look, I'm not even trying to talk shit. I'm just saying I worried a little bit about that game.
There was going to be a very packed bridge with a lot of people trying to.
I had tickets to that game. I don't know if I might just try to sell them because I'm not sure I want to watch Tim Boyle. Like I was like excited for it when I bought the tickets initially.
Because you thought it was gonna be like Aaron Rodgers versus Tua.
No, because I just thought like it was. I think I bought them after like week 3, so I figured I was like, oh, like the Jets, they're like, they're still competitive and the defense is good. Like maybe this game will be like it could still be fun. And I don't know. I think yesterday felt a lot like a fuck this. We're done. Like the defense is just like fuck this. Enough. Get us a real quarterback. We're done for the year. I don't blame them if that's how they felt, by the way. That shit was ridiculous to watch.
It's like what, the 3rd straight year they felt like this?
Did the fucking punter have like the punter had the best completion percentage on the team yesterday? So. This is Zach Wilson is worse than the smegma from Josh Rosen's jockstrap. uh, all right. Strictly NFL over here. Walt Clyde Fraser says, "Do you think playing some cupcake teams immediately prior to facing the best defense in the NBA affected the Knicks tonight?" Maybe. It's possible. I'll be completely honest with you. I never know how to take this stuff because people will, not just people, but like there's always, like even Wally said it tonight, he was like, "Oh, I think the length really affected them," and I'm not saying that's wrong, but I also just don't know that that's true because like as an example, the first game of the season, right? They played Boston. Obviously, they lost the game anyway, and Brunson and Randall didn't shoot well. But like Quickly and RJ did. They played great, or not great, but like they played really well,
Mhm.
anyways. And that's a really, really that's a team that has really good length. Um, it's just it's always tough for me to decide whether that's what affected them tonight or not. Like, was it length that affected Quickly, or did he just have like, again, he had like 2 threes and a couple middies that just went rimmed in and out, right? And like if those go in, not only is it different for him, but it's different for the team and how the game can be. Um, so yeah, all right, EJ1, I'm about to put you in timeout because I'm really sick of these comments. Trade IQ and Grimes for it's too late. Remember when we couldn't get Spider because we had to keep Grimes at all costs? That's just not what happened. So I don't know what to tell you.
We're
All
still
right,
rewriting history, huh?
yeah. And you
Uh,
know what, man? If only we had Spider, we could have lost in the first round last year. Um,
but back to Jordan Bub's comment about Miami. Miami's they're very annoying because they still have fake players that play really well at basketball. Um, they got this Haywood Highsmith. He was someone that was good for them last year. He's a consistent player for them now. Um, they got Caleb Martin still.
I like the
Kevin.
cover tonight too. Good night. Yes.
They got Kevin Love who still can hit some threes, and then they got this rookie Jaime Jaquez Jr. from UCLA who's actually been really good for them, consistently scoring like 15 a night for them. Um, but yeah, I mean, and then Duncan Robinson has finally remembered how to shoot the basketball, and Kyle Lowry is going to be up to his usual annoying antics. So I don't know. That game could be very annoying. Miami's still very competitive. They're on like a what? They won like 8 out of their last, or 7 out of their last 8 or something like that. I want to say. So yeah, they've been pretty good lately. Um, after their rough start to the season, and yeah, it could be.
I do feel like their schedule has been kind of nice, right? It feels like their schedule
Yeah,
has been nice.
I mean they played the Bulls twice. That's always helpful. I mean they lost one of the games, but
I'm just trying
that
to look
always
at this.
helps.
I'm looking at their schedule right now. I feel like every time I look at their schedule, I'm like, man, I wish we had that schedule right now. Hold on. They had okay. So this is their schedule since the start of the season. At Rockets, Pistons at or no, sorry, it's just the first game of the season. Pistons at home, at Celtics, at Timberwolves, at Bucks. Rough start. One and
Yeah,
three there.
they lost a lot of those games.
Lost to the Nets at home. Then they beat the Wizards. They win. They beat Miami at home. They
They beat
beat
Miami.
they beat the Lakers at home.
Oh yeah,
Uh, they beat Memphis on the road. They beat Atlanta on the road. They beat the Spurs on the road. They beat the Hornets on the road. They beat the Nets at home. Then they lost to Chicago, and then they beat Chicago tonight.
pretty
Uh,
favorable.
yeah, I mean,
W.
if you want to make the argument for them, I guess you could say like the Knicks have kind of beaten the teams they should beat, and then they've lost some of the games that they are like against quote unquote better teams, good teams, however you want to phrase it.
Celtics,
Yeah,
Bucks.
yeah. So I guess you can argue that too. So maybe it's like a good litmus test for both these teams. I still like our team better, man. I do. I think we have more scoring. I think the offense for Miami is just they don't even have like possession ball that we have. They don't even grift like that now. I do think losing Struess and Vincent has hurt, at least in the short term. Jaquez is good. I
Just wait
don't
for that
know.
playoff devil magic.
Yeah, I mean that'll happen. But I don't know that Jaquez. I've only watched a little bit of him, but I feel like he's feasted more on these bad teams. I'm not sure that like when they played even Chicago the other night, I didn't think he played very well in that game. He played well tonight, looks like, by box score.
Yeah,
But
19.
yeah, but Yes. This is Eric Fernandez. Dante yelled at Hart to shoot when he passed that particularly open 3 up. Yeah, I mean,
I heard that too. I was like, oh, damn.
yeah, I heard. I didn't know who said it, and then I think somebody, it was at NBA New York, the Twitter account, posted the clip, and it was clearly DiVincenzo. But like, yes, like I wish more people would be like, shoot the fucking ball, dude. You're open. Like, and I don't know what happened. Did he give it back to Randall? Whatever happened, that play sucked after that point. And it's like, he did that to Quick at one point in the first half, where he got the ball at the top of the key and then he swung it to Quickly in the corner with like 3 seconds left on Edwards in an ISO. And it's like, oh, thanks, man. Love this. Had to take some like bullshit ass baseline fadeaway that didn't go in. And it's just like, dude, shoot the ball, please. Like, stop being annoying. Stop giving me these grenades. But yeah, I mean, he's got to shoot it. And, it's what it is. Who do you think is most likely for Leon to try and upgrade? Randall, Grimes, Harder, IQ. I don't know. I would probably guess Grimes at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Though I also wouldn't. Hart can't be traded this season, so he's not going anywhere this year. It is what it is. I really wonder. I haven't even looked, but like after the season, is like Hart plus Grimes, what would that fetch you? I don't know. That would be interesting to see if they'd consider something like that. But I have no idea what that even would fetch you. My guess would be, if just to answer this question though, I would say Grimes. That would be my guess. But that could change. Like if RJ has 15 more games like this in a row for some reason, it would be RJ, right? If Quickly has 15 more games like this in a row, maybe it's Quickly. Who the hell knows? Right now though, I just think Grimes he's not doing anything off the bounce, and to me that feels like a reason why the offense feels a little stagnant and clunky, and why a lot of possessions seem to die. I think he is clogging things up a bit more than he maybe is need to get. He seems to kind of like not get blamed for that. And also, I gotta say, I got people be like, well, people aren't passing the ball. It's hard to pass the fucking ball if you're gonna hide in the corner and you don't bother making yourself open. It's also hard to pass somebody the ball if you're like, are you going to piss your pants or are you gonna do something with this? Like, I don't know. I might stop passing the ball too. EJ1, actually a reasonable comment, though I disagree with it. The Knicks definitely need to feel out at the deadline what they can get for IQ, since he's going to be an RFA and that can get scary. I don't know that they need to. Like, I get the idea behind it, and I think they will. Like, I'm sure they will, because, I just saw the comment. But like, I think they should. I think they should trade. I think GMs and execs in general should always be like seeing what's out there for guys, or at least testing and the market out. But like, if your goal is to make the playoffs and be a good team, I just don't know that
you want to keep your best players.
Well, it just means like, I don't know what you're trading Quickly for. Like, you can't just trade him for a pick, because that doesn't make sense. And then I don't know that, like, I don't know, like, Quickly and Fournier is getting you something. Quickly, Fournier, Hartenstein's getting you something. I don't know. Also, now you're creating 2 gaps in your rotation. Like, I like Jericho Sims as a third big. I do not like him as our second big. Like, it's just, it's hard to know. But, like, I don't think this is an insane sentiment, but I think it's more like they should feel it out. I don't know that our restricted.
Yeah, you always want to gauge what your players are worth, at least.
Yeah, and I don't think that Quickly is like. I don't think I'd love to keep him, and I would keep him, but like, he's not an untouchable level player or something. Like, really, nobody on this team should be in the right scenario, for being honest. Like, even Jalen Brunson, if for some reason Milwaukee's like, hey man, we'll give you Giannis for Jalen Brunson, you're really gonna be like, no man, we can't do that. He's our guy. Like, he came to New York and nobody else wanted to. Like, no, like, you're gonna be like, Jalen, buddy,
enjoy Milwaukee.
Yeah. You're still my
godson.
You're still my godson. Don't worry about it. Rick, tough shit, buddy.
Oh my god.
This is from Aldi Joka. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. I think Johnny Bryant has a huge role in this offense. Those Utah teams put up a lot of threes as well, and Tibbs keeps talking about that being a focus. I agree, and I think somebody pointed this out to me on Twitter, and it was good. It was a good point. I forgot who it was, so forgive me if you are listening to this or watching this, and I didn't credit you. But like he pulled Hart right after that fucking possession that we're talking about, where like DiVincenzo yelled at him to shoot the ball. He pulled him right after. He put Grimes back in then. So actually, that is like, I like seeing that. I think
It's
that's
encouraging.
that's encouraging for him to be like, Josh, fucking shoot the ball, pal, or you're not going to play.
You're not untouchable in the rotation. You won't get 46 straight minutes tonight.
And I also like, I didn't particularly love putting Grimes back in, but I also wonder if he was like, I just want to see what this group looks like, and let me see if Grimes can like make a couple shots here and just make like feel better about himself or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was not. I didn't obviously love the move in and of itself to put Grimes back in, but I also think like I do think there's a chance he just wanted to see it because we haven't seen that much at all, right? Grimes and DiVincenzo with Brunson and Randall.
Yeah, no, we haven't seen that. And, that is encouraging to see him at least try those lineups, and hopefully that did something for maybe Grimes' confidence to like, hey, I can play over Josh Hart, even though Thibs has this massive crush on him. But yeah, I mean, next couple of games are actually pretty interesting for the Knicks, Miami and then Phoenix. Some really, I mean, depending on who plays for Phoenix, could be a really strong test for this team.
You think Bradley Beal will be alive by then?
Dog, I don't even know if he'll have a spinal cord by then.
Is Bradley Beal alive? Are we sure?
Does he
Have
have
we
any
seen
spinal
pictures?
fluid
Yeah.
left?
Is he like leaking spinal fluid everywhere he moves?
Like a slug, just like dripping.
It's just like oozing out of his pores.
That team is just like, I don't know, like, man, KD's like, man, that guy, wherever he goes, it's just like team can never stay healthy. Team just turned to a hospital. Like the guy with the rubber band string for an Achilles is the only guy that can stay healthy in these games. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, maybe Devin Booker will play, maybe Bradley Beal will play. But yeah, I just think that game is going to be very interesting. That's on Sunday, right, at the Garden. And we get our first look at that in-season report on Friday.
Is that a matinee?
I think it might be.
That feels like a game they'd put as a matinee. That might be the start of a West Coast trip or East Coast trip for them too. Also, let's see. Phoenix it's kind of the start of a trip. So they have the Blazers at home tomorrow. That'll be a real tough one for them. Portland's playing some really good basketball. Then they have the Warriors at home on Wednesday. That's I gotta say, like, that would be the most annoying back-to-back in the world. To be like, are you fucking serious? You give me a back-to-back the day before Thanksgiving, and then they have to go to Memphis on Friday, and then they play us on Sunday at the Garden. That's at 6 p.m. So a little bit of a weird tip-off there. But
who scheduled the beginning of the season for this league? This schedule has been absolutely insane.
I mean, that's kind of why I don't know like what to do with a lot of our schedule, because even like the start of our road trip was stupid, right? Because we had the Hornets the night before, and then we had to travel to Boston the next game to play them, and it's like, can we just get a day? Like, is that fine? Are we allowed to just have a fucking day here between the start of a trip where we're playing 5, and then we play 5 games in 7 fucking days? Like,
This is the lockout season. Like, who the fuck made this schedule? Is this what the CBA was? Is this what the NBPA was doing in the CBA discussions? Like, just putting the thumbs up their ass and like saying, "Hey, whatever you guys want to do for the schedule, like, hey, we're fine with it." Like, what the hell?
This is Joe Biden's NBA, folks. All right, here we go. This is actually EJ1, my guy, picking it up here. We're getting some real fucking commentary now. Are Julius and Brunson ever going to play more pick and roll, or do they just hate each other? I do find it very funny that they never run pick and roll together, but
Was
I
that
also think
stable last year?
it wasn't, and it never will be because Randall doesn't want to actually set screens and roll.
That requires effort, and
he'll
putting
pick
his
and
body
pop.
on the line.
He'll pick and pop sometimes with Quickly, but he's also done this thing with Quickly a couple times this year where he'll just like set the screen and then just stand there, and it's like he'll just like I'm like, you gotta do something. Like
he just stood there.
Yeah, you gotta like roll or you have to pop. Like you gotta do one of the two. I don't know. But yeah, it's frustrating. It actually reminds me of
Pick and stick.
What's up?
He just like does the pick and stick where he just picks and just stays there.
He's just a really committed blocker. He it reminds me a little bit of like I remember Melo and Stat would never run pick and rolls, even though like I remember their points per possession on them would be awesome. It'd be like, oh, like they're averaging 1.9 points per possession, but they only run a pick and roll every 6 games. So yeah, I don't know. I think some of this is Julius. Also, some of it's on Brunson too. Brunson is not. He uses screens to score, and he does not use them to necessarily set up his roll man or his pop man. And that's okay with Mitchell Robinson because Mitchell Robinson just wants to run to the front of the rim and get rebounding position anyway. But for a guy like Randall, he's just going to get so frustrated so quickly with that. It's not going to work. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Beal is the melted couch in an anti-pot commercial. Oh, man. This is also from Walt Clyde Fraser. Randall won't accept screens. He sure as hell isn't going to set one. Randall hasn't set a screen since he was like a real screen since he was with the Lakers or something. Beal is like the old dying grandfather from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Jesus.
Bro, Beal played like 2 games and his back completely just gave out on him.
Well, Cham said something funny today. He's like, oh yeah, his disc is out of place, but there's no structural damage. And I'm like, look, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what the hell that means. But that sounds like structural damage. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no clue. But I was like, this whole thing with Beal is so funny where it's like, oh no, he's like,
bro, when did he end up having like a bad back? Like, when the hell did this happen? Did I just not pay attention to his last couple years in Washington because they were just that pathetic?
He had knee issues before this, right? Isn't that his thing mostly?
I think so. It was like knee or like foot issues, something of the lower extremities.
But knee issues can lead to back issues, so who the hell knows?
I know the whole chain of whatever.
Yeah, that whole thing with kinetics and kinesiology.
Yeah.
Stuff and things.
I should know. I have a bad back, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Teaching kids all day?
Nah, scoliosis.
Well, that sucks. Sorry
yeah, it does. No, it really does.
That took a dark turn.
So that's why I can laugh at Beal because like I know what kind of like pain he's going through.
He added it. I feel he missed the start of the season with his back, right? And then he came back, and then it was like, yeah, actually,
he hurt his back again.
Yeah, it's still pretty fucked up. So sorry, my bad. Grimes has to be the most. This is our guy again, BJ1 or EJ1. Grimes has to be the most disappointing part of the season so far. JJ should be sued for breaking a shot. I can't disagree with this one at all. I agree. I mean, Grimes has been pretty disappointing to start the season. I will say though, in his defense, this happens with young players all the time. Like they just have stretches where they look like shit, then all of a sudden they look great again. He might be in the process of like recalibrating his game and figuring some stuff out. I don't think that's inconceivable. But in real time, in this moment, I have no, I cannot, I could not disagree with this. I 100% agree. He has been the most disappointing part of the season, and quickly had his up and downs. RJ's obviously struggled a little bit since he's come back from his injury, but those two guys, at least, I feel like you're seeing tangible progress. Mitchell Robinson, tangible progress. I don't know. With Grimes, it just feels like he's just can't really catch a rhythm here, and it's pretty annoying.
And it felt like once he was starting to, then he hurts his finger.
Yeah. And apparently when you hurt your finger, now you're just fucked forever. Remember this happened to RJ last year.
His finger got sliced open.
Yeah, his finger got sliced open, but then when he came back, it was like, why can't you move anymore? Like, what happened here? Like, your finger, is that Is that part of the same chain? Is that the same thing? But like, it was just, who knows? Maybe we're gonna have Grimes is gonna have a season like that. He's just like moving in fucking slow motion the entire time.
Oh man, it's gonna be rough. Damn. DiVincenzo, prepare for 35 minutes a night.
Yeah. We'll see. I sure hope not. That would be really fucking bad. But I just want to say, this is the last thing I want to say. This is the last thing I needed to say anyway. I know I mentioned this earlier, I really have not liked how Hartenstein's played lately. Probably since the start of the road trip. I just think he's pressing offensively. I've seen way too many times this year now where he's like either catching the ball underneath or getting an offensive rebound, and there's like four guys around him, and he tries to take some stupid ass hook shot or something instead of just like kicking it out to a shooter. And it just feels like he's forcing the action a bit too much at times. That dribble handoff thing that he dribbled off his fucking foot today in the second quarter was so insane. And Tibbs immediately was just done with it. He was like, nope, okay, Mitch, get back in there, bud. Like, I'm not trying to do this. We didn't even mention this, by the way. Needs to be said. Mitch played awesome again. Mitch, in and out, hezzy on Rudy Gobert. Has to be said.
That was clean. That was clean.
I in real time, I was like, was that an in and out? Did I see that right? Like, Tibbs allows you to do that?
So he caught him with the sham sandwich.
Yeah, that's
I like that they allow him to do that like every 10 to 15 games or so, just to get it out of his system, because he wants to do it so bad.
That was a better move than anybody else on the team had today.
Definitely.
That was the highlight of the game.
Giannis? Question mark.
Giannis had a game today.
40 points. Man, the Wizards just free points.
Did you have in a parlay today?
I did not. I didn't have any of the reads that I usually have. Like I usually take Bucks, like guards who are facing the Bucks overs. Didn't take Jordan Poole, didn't take Tyus Jones. They both went over, way over. But yeah,
you're fucking washed.
So this happens. Nah, today is like so rough for me because it's like the last couple days before Thanksgiving, and I'm just like so done.
Yeah. Do you have classes today or tomorrow and Wednesday?
Yeah, I have to teach. Luckily, I have some kids that went early on vacation, but like, it's.
You don't like your kids.
I like my kids. I like my kids. I like my kids. I'm just saying it's much easier when there are less of them.
Oh, interesting. So, too many kids now. Got it. Okay.
All right. I can't win over here.
When was the last time Hartenstein had a clutch block? Seemed to have one every other game last year. Maybe he's a guy that just needs to suck for like the first 20 games or something. Not that he's like sucked, but I don't know. I just the last 5-6 games, I just feel like it's not been like, oh, we're not losing anything at center for 40 minutes. It actually feels like Mitch is noticeably better. But like maybe that says more about Mitch and less about Hartenstein, to be fair. Like, yeah, maybe that's what it is. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? You doing anything?
I'm just gonna be home with my family.
Jersey?
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you?
Making turkey?
I think my dad or mom is, but yeah.
So you're not doing shit.
Oh no, I never do. No, I'm gonna be sleeping.
I'm not doing anything. I'm going to my sister's. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to my sister's. That's what I'm doing in Jersey. So
Nice.
I'll be by you,
Oh,
Jersey
nice.
City. What do you do anything the night before Thanksgiving? You gonna get
Nah,
up to any shenanigans?
nah, gonna sleep, bruh. This last week for teachers, like right before Thanksgiving, is just like trying to like push through, and then once we get home, that's it.
Because you guys don't actually like your job.
No, we like our job.
I don't know,
Like,
Sam. You're always in here bitching about your job.
yo, it's because the city makes sure we don't get paid enough to like actually like care about our job that much.
So you don't just work for like you don't find value in just
I
grinding.
no. I find value in making a difference in kids' lives. I also find value in like being paid adequately as the cost of living has risen.
Sounds like you're not about
Well, Eric Adams is over here getting investigated by the FBI.
it sounds like you're not really in it for the grind. Sounds like you're more about the money here.
You know what?
You have a problem with Eric Adams now, or fearless leader? The fearless leader of New York City, the mayor of Gotham. All right, I think we were good here. It's a good
Yeah.
place.
Shout out to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We will be back on Black Friday after the Knicks versus Heat game. Hopefully that game is a good game, not a blowout. It seems like the NBA has just been on a recent trends of insane blowouts. It feels like almost every night there's a blowout, or at least there's like 5 blowouts now. But yeah, hopefully that game's a good game. We'll be back after then. Make sure you check out all the links in the description for all the links for everything Stricken related. We got links to the Patreon where you can find Schwinn's show, Stricken Roll, as well as other shows like Strictly NFL and Takes from Obvious Bozos. You can also find links to the site where you can find all our great articles, as well as you can find links to the merch. Schwinn is wearing a Quickland hoodie that I think is still on the site.
Yeah, it's there.
And then we also got links to our Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. But yeah, we'll catch you guys after the Heat game on Friday. Everyone, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy some turkey and enjoy some NFL football. Peace.